Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Ratchet Talk with the Walkers.
No, it's not Ratchet Talk with the Walkers. This is very informative talk with the Walker and soon-to-be Walker.
Alright. Zeus, get out of here! That's a lot. Stop! Zeus, say hi to the people on YouTube. Zeus, stop!
So what are we talking about today?
So today we are bringing you our first advice video. How to survive living with your spouse the first year.
Hey Zeus.
We have actually, Marcel and I have been living together going on 2 years now, and it was not always peaches and unicorns. However, we are going to talk to you guys today and let you know some tips that you can take, you know, before moving in together, while living together, to make your experience a lot better like ours was. Yeah, let's start.
Start it up.
So, tip number 1, finding the spot. So, finding your first apartment, especially if you and your spouse, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whoever you're moving in with, if this is both of your first times living on your own, my advice to you is to definitely go out together and find a spot, and go out together and find an apartment. You want to make sure that, you know, it's something that you both will enjoy, something that you'll both be comfortable living in, and it's not just one person's, you know, humble abode.
Yeah, you gotta look online, of course, but don't let the pictures that's online deceive you. They will deceive you.
They will deceive you. Don't try not to get ahead of yourself. So when Marcel and I first started looking for apartments, I only remember looking at one apartment, but he remembers looking at 2.
Now we looked at 2. We looked at the condos.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so we did. We looked at 2 styles of apartments. We looked at a regular style apartment, and we looked at condos. The condos were the first style of apartments that we looked at, and they were amazing. However, the rent was sky high, just because of all of the electronics and the benefits that you got with living in those condos. It was too much, and I wasn't trying to pay that. We might as well have got a house for that price.
Yeah, might as well get a house for this price. But
well, we are doing that.
Yeah,
we are doing that. Yeah. So.
But those was like crazy.
They were crazy prices. They were nice, beautiful,
brand new,
brand spanking new.
They wasn't all even done yet.
They weren't
built.
However, after we looked at the second apartment complex, I was really turned off. Like, that second apartment complex, they showed us, it was like one of those apartments where you walk into the door. Like, you had to walk into the door to get into the building and get to your apartment. I hate those style apartments because I feel like as soon as you walk in the door, everything that everybody in every apartment, and whatever it is that they're cooking, you can smell it. So, like, it hits your face as soon as you walk in that door. And I'm not about that life. Like, I don't want to smell like anybody else's curry goat or goulash. I don't.
You might have curry mixed with goulash, mixed with Chinese, mixed with
soul food, collard greens.
And all that may sound good separately, but together,
no.
Nah.
And then on top of that, remember the door was broke? The glass on the door was broken. It was like shattered, like somebody threw a rock at it. To me, I feel like you should not show people, you know, apartments where things are damaged.
Yeah, cancel all appointments.
All appointments need to be canceled. Or just, if you go and then you realize something's off with it, just in your head, just cancel it out. Don't let them continue to show you the apartments and everything. Just don't go back. Just tell them that you found something else if they call. However, I will say that I absolutely love our apartment that we're living in now. However, I kind of jumped the gun because after we saw the ratchet apartments, Marcel had brought me to these apartments, and they looked exactly how the first condos looked that we saw, but the rent was cheaper, of course, but it was literally like just about the same. And I fell in love, and because I fell in love so quick, we stopped looking after we found these apartments. We literally went to the leasing office and we filled out an application. They put us on a waiting list. Was it a waiting list? It was a waiting list, but we were like the top. We were
the first people on the waiting list, so it really wasn't a waiting list.
Right. So, another tip, when apartment shopping, don't get too gung-ho about that one particular apartment that you absolutely love, because there can definitely be other apartments out there that's just as nice, but are a lot cheaper. Because if I would have known then what I know now, we would have looked for a few more weeks before we actually picked this one. Because, honey child, let me tell you,
I think
the way this rent set
up. I think the thing is like you look at so many apartments online before you actually go and see them. That it's kind of like, all right, I done looked at so much without actually going out and looking at so much. You know what I'm saying?
But you have to, like, you have
to go out.
Yeah,
you have to go and see it.
Because those ratchet apartments that we saw before we saw these apartments that we're at now, they look so nice online. Like, it looks so sunny. It's like, you know that saying, it's all grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. They made that apartment look like the green side of the fence. However, when we went to look at them, it looked like the dark side of the fence. Like, literally no lighting came into the apartment whatsoever.
So with that being said, don't let pictures fool you.
Please don't.
Don't let pictures fool you.
Do your research. If you are a college student, you know research is key. Figure out, what they offer, how they go about taking care of their apartments when somebody else moves out. Do you get new carpets? Or do they clean the carpets? Do you get new toilet seats? Like, things like that, little small details like that, you definitely want to know. Because you definitely want a clean apartment. You don't want to move in somewhere disgusting. Dirty. Either way, both of those work. So our second tip that we are bringing to you today is planning. Planning to go and move out on your own with your spouse.
Okay. So like what we did, so that we wouldn't be so shell-shocked with getting a certain amount of money taken out of our check, like as soon as we moved in, I say for about 6 months, we had a certain amount getting direct deposited into a joint account that we had, so that once we actually moved out, we had enough money for, some furniture, so that we wasn't just sitting on floors, and we had enough money for, TVs and tables and everything, feel like home. But more importantly, we had enough money for rent.
Yes. That is the important part. Remember, when you move into your first apartment, you have to pay, most places make you pay first month's rent up front.
And security deposit.
And a security deposit. And sometimes that security deposit is sometimes that security, some places. Yeah, no, not first and last. Ours isn't first and last, but some of them is first. Some places you have to do first month's rent and a security deposit, but the security deposit tends to end up being the same amount as your rent, pretty much. So that was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
And that's also what I just said. But but it can be a lot of money. And if you already have that money in your account,
then it's not going to be so worrisome.
It's fine. But once you move out and you're like, I see this place I really like, but you're not saving nothing, then you gotta take all of that out of 1 or 2 checks, and it's like, oh man, I'm messed up. I'm messed up for the month. I'm messed up for this month.
Your
next month.
pockets start to cry.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. And see, not want to be one of those couples who moved into an apartment, just like he said, and not have any furniture. So that was another reason why we saved so much money like we did, because we wanted to make sure that we had full living room set, full bedroom set, and we had our dining room table as well. And, from there you build up. Don't buy everything. I'm not saying go out and buy all your decorations and everything like that. Don't buy all that at once.
Have the essentials.
Yeah.
Have the criticals.
Yeah. Have your TV.
At least have a bed with a box spring.
And you don't, and it ain't saying that you need to get everything delivered on the first day.
Bed frame.
Because our first day, we definitely didn't have our bedroom set.
We didn't, but that wasn't our fault.
That wasn't our fault.
We bought it. It just wasn't here.
It just wasn't ready for delivery until like the next day or 2 days later. But we had so much fun sleeping on the air mattress together, and we picked out on Burger King and watched Power. And that's another thing. You definitely need to save, because if you are, avid TV watchers, if you like watching your love of hip hop and all those type of good programmings, you definitely want to make sure you have some cable in your apartment, and that costs money too. Yeah. And wasn't it the cable that ran your credit? Like, don't the cable company run your credit when you get an account with them?
Probably.
Yeah. So
everybody runs your credit.
Everybody. Well,
darn near. A lot of people are running your credit. Make sure your credit right too.
Yeah. Make sure that's all in order.
If you're gonna move out, you're an adult at this point. Make sure your credit right, because when you're younger, credit might not mean nothing. But once you're older and you're an adult,
and you want to do real adult things,
credit is everything.
It is everything.
Don't let anybody tell you different. Oh, just pay cash. Credit don't mean credit is everything.
Because you can't even move into an apartment without credit. Nowhere. You can't move anywhere without credit. So get it in order. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't let it build up. Don't be one of those people that say, I got a credit card. Okay, well, I'll swipe and I'll buy this and that. I'll pay it off. And then the next thing you know, you done built up a whole bunch of debt that you are now trying to pay off. Yeah. So yeah, my advice. Message. So you just make sure that you both save your money, and make sure that it's not just one person in a relationship that's saving money. Make sure that you both chip in, that you both do everything together. This is an equal partnership. Relationships are about partnership, so you definitely want to make sure that everything is 50-50.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, living on your own is all fun and everything, but you don't want to put someone that you're with or someone that you love in a situation where they're messed up, they're hurting. Because that don't necessarily feel good. So you got to find equal ground. Yeah. Find what works for both of you. Learn what you can put aside each month. And each check. You get paid twice a month. I'm gonna take $300 out. Get it direct deposited into this account. $350, $400 direct deposited in this account. And you do that a few months before you move out. And once you move out, then it won't be a struggle. It won't be a struggle, because you won't even realize it anymore. I don't even realize that the money that I have coming out is coming out. Like, I don't see that money, but... However, I would love to see that extra money. Oh, what? I would love it. Sacrifices, people. Being an adult requires you to make sacrifices. I wanted my seeing that extra money in my account. That extra money will definitely be love. But what's more love is knowing that my bills is covered. Would you get out of here? Dang. Get out of here. Yeah, what's more love is knowing my bills are covered. And she don't got stress over covering something that I should have covered. Or vice versa. Yeah. Well, but if you plan, my granddad always said, if you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail. So as long as you have a plan, you're good. Yeah. So, tip number 3, compromising. So, compromising is the biggest part about living with someone else. Yeah, because now things that you're used to doing, you might still, you probably still do them, but at the same time, the person that you're living with is not going to be used to you doing that stuff. For example, I like the bed to be made. So if I come home and the bed is not made and it looks like he literally roll over in and out Tasmanian devil in his sleep,
then I'm going to be really upset because I literally cannot sleep on a bed or sit on a bed that is not made up. So that's something that he had to get used to because that's something.
Shut up.
That's something that he had to get used to because he really didn't care. But because that was a pet peeve of mine, he tries to remember to make the bed up.
Like I made the bed today.
You did.
Gotta give my props on that one.
You get your props.
Found it.
Mm-hmm.
What else don't you like? Or what don't I like that you do?
So he does not like when I brush my teeth in the morning.
No, I like when she brushes her teeth. I like when she does that.
He doesn't like that when I use the toothpaste to brush my teeth in the morning and I squeeze the tube from the middle. Now, that's a habit of mine. I've been doing it for 26 years. I can't help it. However, I'm trying my hardest to learn how to squeeze the toothpaste tube from the bottom. And I think I start doing, like if I don't squeeze it from the bottom and I squeeze it from the middle, I'll close the lid and then I'll try to like push it up so it makes it seem like I did it the right way or his right way.
I haven't seen that yet.
You're not going to see it. You're not up when I'm up.
I can tell. What I'm saying, I haven't seen you.
You're a liar and your feet stink.
Hey.
I do it. Don't. He's lying.
Okay.
So, another part about compromising, and this one is especially for the ladies. If you are moving in with your man, I'm going to tell you this right now. Don't feel obligated to cook and clean every single day. I have been raised to, cater to my significant other. And I did that. The first 3 months, I did just that. I literally went and I cleaned the house and I cooked a different meal every day. And I got very annoyed doing that. I felt like I was doing everything myself. I felt like he wasn't helping out at all. So that made me really upset with him when I really didn't need to be upset with him because it really wasn't anything else for him to do because I was doing everything. But it got really tiring because I would come home after working an 8-hour shift and not be able to sit down for another 3 hours after I've cleaned everything up, cooked, and then re-cleaned the kitchen because you can't clean in a dirty kitchen. So, you can't cook in a dirty kitchen. Sorry. You know what I meant. So, after a while, we came to a compromise where I don't have to cook every day. I'll cook, and then I'll cook enough that we have something to eat for 2 days, and then I'll cook again. So, am I boring you?
No. Yeah,
jeez.
I'll be coming home catching attitude just from left field. I'm like, oh, what did I do? It'll
literally make you want to like tear everything up in the house just so they can be the ones that clean it up. Just make it be real petty.
No, nobody got time for pettiness. Like, don't nobody got time for that. And if you got something on your mind, speak what's on your mind.
Speak what's on your mind.
Don't have somebody coming home and you all mad and upset, and that person can tell that you mad and upset, and they're asking you why you're mad and upset, and they just saying nothing. I'm fine.
Well, then that goes into another tip. You also need to learn how to communicate. In the beginning, it was very hard for us because I like to yell. I'm a very loud person. I've always been loud all my life. My cousins have told me that all of my life that I have been a very loud person. So our communication was not always on point because I would get upset, I would get frustrated, and he has one mood. Straight face emoji. That's him. So because
I be chilling.
Always. But it's not always good to just chill when your girl is trying to have a conversation with you, or it can start off as a conversation. However, when he's just chill and you start feeling like you talk to a brick wall, then that's when you get frustrated, and that's when you start yelling and spazzing out because you yelling, spazzing out, or you try to make your point, and he just like, is we finished or is we done?
Which one? Pick one.
No. That's not how that works, fellas. So don't do it his way. But, I mean, it took us a while to get to where we are now. We can definitely sit and communicate and talk to each other. We had to realize that with him, I can't talk to him while I'm yelling. So I have to take myself out of the situation before I get to that point and go think about what I need to say and then come back to him. And then we can have that conversation. And that's how things can get worked out from there.
I feel like with anybody, is better than not yell and all that, because
some people might like that.
They may. I don't know who would want to just be sitting there yelling back and forth at each other. I don't want to sit there. I know a lot of people that don't want to sit around and just be yelling back and forth at each other. Be calm about the situation. If it take an hour or two, even if it take the next day, put it off to the next day.
Be calm. Be cool. And collect yourself.
Yeah, talk about it.
Don't scream about it.
Talk about it. Not scream. Because if you yelling at me and everything like that, no, it's not going to work. It ain't going to work.
So learn how to get to that point now. Because we are getting married next year, it was a good thing that we moved in together first. Because if we were married and then moved in with each other, oh God. We would probably be on the verge. At that point, we would have probably been on the verge of signing some divorce papers.
Yeah, I feel like us living together was the best thing to do. Mm-hmm. Some people may not have thought it was the best thing to do, mm-hmm. but I personally can't see myself marrying someone who I don't all the way know. Like, you won't all the way know someone until you live with them. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, you won't all the way know their good sides, bad sides, anything. You won't know it, pretty much.
No.
Yeah, because that's what you're gonna do if you're not living with somebody. In my opinion, let me keep saying that. In my opinion, because everybody else has their own views and beliefs about things.
This is just what worked for us.
Yeah. I don't want to go into anything blind. You know, I like to know what I'm getting into. As much as I can, I like to know what I'm getting into.
Right.
Some things you can't, but this, I could. So I did.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense?
I don't know. I kind of tuned. Yeah, it did. It made a lot of sense.
Don't tune me out. Don't tune me out. Only about cooking and cleaning. Mm-hmm. It's really just about
everything.
Learning
that
your
person.
partner.
Yes.
Learning your partner, because that never stops, ever.
But that's the beauty about being in a relationship, because you have this person that you are opening a new chapter with in your life, and you guys get to grow together. You get to grow as adults together. And like Marcel and I, when we started dating, I was 20 years old. And that was 6 years ago. Almost 7 years. Oh God. Almost 7 years ago. So pretty much we've been together for a very long time. And being together for so long, you know, you get to learn each other, but it's so different.
It's a different learning experience.
It's a different learning experience.
Once you two mingle everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Once you put in your stuff with her stuff with your stuff, everything gets flipped upside down, because you're not seeing her or seeing him and then going home afterwards, or going home a day or two afterwards. You're staying there. It's no going home. I mean, it is going home, but they're going to be at your home too, because that's also their home. So it's a struggle, but if you make it through that struggle, it's so worth it in the long run. It's so worth it.
It is.
So you gotta you can't let those first few months determine your relationship, because like I said, those first few months they're gonna suck. They're gonna be bad.
So those were our tips about living with your spouse on the first year.
Just a couple, some things you got to figure out on your own. Every situation isn't the same.
Yeah.
Our situation is different.
So
maybe different from yours.
This is what worked for us. So we're just sharing our experience. This is what worked for us. Hopefully, anybody that's watching can take some of our tips, can take some of our tricks, and they can apply it to their own relationship and their own experience. So hopefully we helped you guys out.
Yeah, hopefully this was, hopefully you had your pen and pad out, you know, took some notes, or rewind this video and be like, you know what, that was a good idea. Let me store that in the mental cavity.
Bank.
The memory bank. Let me store that in the memory bank.
Drop the mic, walk away. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If at any point you feel like you have some advice that you can give us, or that you want some more advice, please make sure to comment down below. You can check me out on Instagram at KawanaLane. You can also follow me on Snapchat at WtchnMrsWalker. You can also follow Marcel at
Celio, CELIOOO _ That's on Instagram.
He doesn't have a Snapchat.
I do have a Snapchat.
He doesn't have a Snapchat that he actually uses. So
I'm about to start using my Snapchat.
Anyways.
And I'm pretty sure it's the same name on Instagram.
What, your Snapchat?
Yes.
Okay.
Either
way, guys, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you share this video. Hopefully it was helpful to you. We will catch you guys next time on another episode of
Watching the Walkers. No? It's not Watching the Walkers?
I like Ratchet Talk with the Walkers, but that's just my inner ghetto coming out.
This ain't ratchet. This is helpful. Watch us. When you watching us, we helping you.
Dropping knowledge. Motivate your ass.
Well, not cuz.
Sorry.
It's a family thing.
Anyway, guys, we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.